Volodymyr Zelensky has publicly hardened his position on peace, rejecting any formula that, in his words, allows Russia to benefit from its war. In his address, he linked today's conflict with one of the darkest chapters in Ukrainian history, framing the current war as a continuation of genocide and injustice.
Dear Ukrainians, today we commemorate millions of our people who were killed by starvation, millions of terrible deaths, and most of all starvation in 1932-1933. It was a systematic blow to the Ukrainian people, the policy of genocide that today's Russia has inherited and made part of its ideology again. All this war that is now going on against Ukraine and can expand to other nations is a consequence of Moscow's impunity. No matter what form their regime has, if they remain unpunished, Russia is trying to repeat its evil.
Zelensky made it clear that Ukraine would not accept peace based on compromise, warning against any form of forgiveness or reward for what he called crimes against humanity. He also confirmed that consultations with foreign partners and future negotiation steps are underway.
These days, consultations will be held with partners on the steps needed to end the war. I signed a decree on the composition of the Ukrainian delegation. I approved all the relevant directives. Our representatives know how to protect Ukrainian national interests and what is needed so that Russia does not make a third invasion, another blow to Ukraine. Now we are talking about much more than about one or another item, one or another document. It must be done so that it does not prevail anywhere in Europe and the world, the principle that crimes against people and humanity, against states and nations may have some reward and forgiveness. The real peace is always based on guaranteed security and justice.
While Zelensky projects control, direction, and moral clarity from Kyiv, testimonies from captured Ukrainian soldiers near Dimitrov and Pokrovsk describe a battlefield reality of confusion, abandonment, and disintegration.
We didn't know anything. They told us to sit and wait, openly. They brought us to Donetsk region. They called us there for 2 months, 2.5 months. We had 7 positions. They brought us in all separately. We were the last ones, basically. They smashed everyone. I've only been fighting here since September. From the Dobropilia side, we were 6 people. They said, the House of Mirnograd, Mirnograd, Mirnograd. The task was to sit and listen. There was no senior group. They say there was no group leader. The one who let us in, Agat, he was behind me. The one who let us in here, that's it. There were still 3 men left, but I don't know. They are sitting somewhere. I don't know from which positions, I don't know. We were not allowed to say anything. They told us, sit and listen, and that's all.
Zelensky, however, insists that despite heavy pressure, Ukrainian forces remain engaged and are conducting defensive and counteractions, especially around Pokrovsk, which he calls the most difficult direction.
The most difficult is Pokrovsk, the whole direction. Significant Russian forces, more than 150,000, which continue the assault every day. The biggest attack is there. All this has been going on for many months. It is important that our troops destroy the occupants. We carry out counteroffensive actions, also on the border between Dnipro and Donetsk. We defend positions. Kharkiv region. We defend our positions. Zaporizhia. We defend positions. There is not easy. Orikhiv direction. Guliopil. We do everything to stabilize the situation.
But on the ground, Ukrainian prisoners from the same region describe structural collapse, lack of leadership, and units being wiped out in isolation.
There were 6 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 of us. There was no commander. 3 of us were here, and 3 were on other positions. 1 position is already gone. They have been gone since October 15th. I don't know, because we wanted an automatic rifle, and after that I don't know anything for long.
Alongside battlefield updates, Zelensky also attempted to present internal control and reform, announcing audits in the energy sector and the entire defense industrial complex.
I also talked with the Prime Minister of Ukraine about audits that have already begun in energy companies, and about an additional audit of the entire defense sector, defense enterprises. Such a military audit must be done as quickly as possible. Accordingly, contracts, finances, operations, etc. As a result, I instructed to represent society, and it is important to represent them every week. Pass materials to law enforcement and anti-corruption agencies.
However, prisoners allege corruption, abandonment of wounded soldiers, and deliberate neglect by their own commanders.
Our commanders take Russian money. They kill us because we do not want to go fight the Russians. They never evacuate the wounded. We had 30 men. Out of 30 men, maybe about 20 normal ones are left, alive. And then our officers never evacuate the wounded. The wounded and the 200s are not evacuated there. They did not provide medical help. They shared once, and that's it. And they said that we were free.
The same captured soldier goes on to describe how he was taken into service and makes a direct appeal to other soldiers still fighting.
They took me from the military enlistment office. I was going from work. I was going home. They took me from the enlistment office. The police stood there near the enlistment office. They twisted me up and took me into a car. They beat me. They said, "You will serve for Ukraine." And I didn't want that. And I thank the Russians for saving my life. They gave me water and food. Comrades, surrender completely. Pokrovsk has been taken. Your night sights won't help you. And in general, surrender completely.
Zelensky speaks of justice, security, and global responsibility. His captured soldiers speak of chaos, abandonment, and survival. Two Ukrainian voices, two opposing realities. And between them, a war not just of weapons, but of narrative.